Breaking news in the stock market! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your fourth ever weekly installment of the State of the Market. Hey, what is going on, YouTube? It is your host, Sean, also known as the Prophet of Profit. And alright, ladies and gentlemen, alright, I'll admit it. 3 weeks ago, I was saying the market was going to fall further. 2 weeks ago, I was saying the same thing. And then last week, I was like, alright, it's a pandemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We've never witnessed a pandemic before, so no one knows what the market's going to do. Well, I am going to eat my words on what I said 2 and 3 weeks ago. Because the market is now up, at least the Dow is now up 30% since its low in March. Like, you can't deny that. I didn't even realize it until this week, but like after this little rally here again this week, I was just like, honestly, the market as a whole could very well be recovering before our eyes. It's too early to tell though still, but like this is crazy right now. Like what has happened these past 2 months is actually unprecedented. Like I genuinely don't think this has ever happened before. So just for like to give you this perspective on it. So on February 12th, the Dow closed at 29,551, right? So that was its high. That was the highest it's ever closed, February 12th. Well, on March 23rd, it closed down 37% from that high at 18,591. And then from that low, so it dropped 37%, and now it closed at over 24,000. Now, so within a 2-month span, it dropped 37% and then rose 30%. Like, that is just like, it went from a total bear market to now a bull market so fast. So ultimately, the point I'm trying to make is that there's just a ton of uncertainty about the future right now. Like, if you go back 2 months ago, I don't think anyone was predicting a 37% drop and then a 30% rise. Like, you know what I mean? That just is not a realistic thing anyone could have possibly predicted. And the same could be said about the future. And so that's where I'm going to leave it at right now. Overall, there's just a ton of uncertainty about the market going forward. And so with that brings us to our runners that happened this week. As you guys know by this point, this is the part of the video where we just go over some of the runners that have happened this week. I realize you guys like talking about the future more than like what has already happened. So for now on, I'm not going to make this part of the video as long as that talking about the future part. So the first runner we're going to be looking at here is ticker symbol TRNX. The name of the company is TRNX Technologies, Inc. And what happened is on April 16th, so I believe that was Thursday, they dropped this PR in the morning saying that they will not pursue a reverse split to maintain listing status. Pretty much what this PR implies is that they must be pretty confident that they could reach that $1 for compliance. Otherwise, they wouldn't be saying that they don't need a reverse split. And so the result of this news was an absolute crazy run. At one point on, I think, Wednesday, TRNX was at a low of about 10 cents. And then on Friday, it hit a high of 50 cents. As I said in previous videos, these penny runners are absolutely crazy when they get volume and they get going. So overall, this is definitely a penny you want to keep on your radar going forward, because it does have the potential for another run sometime here in the near future. So with that brings us to our next stock that we are going to be looking at that rocketed this week. And, this wasn't the normal, like hundreds of percent runner that I typically talk about. But this was a gradual rise this week. And overall, Moderna, so ticker symbol MRNA, had an absolute beautiful gradual uptrend this week. And then it was all capped off when they announced that they're receiving up to $483 million in federal funding for its coronavirus vaccine. So realistically, this is actually the stock that could end up producing the vaccine. Not any of these pennies that just give like these pump PRs. This is like the real deal. So definitely keep Moderna on your radar going forward. Because the reality is, with that kind of news, this could potentially be a stock that is not only going to provide a ton of uptrend potentially here in the foreseeable future, but also is definitely just going to be a popular media topic, and a lot of people are probably going to be talking about this stock. So with that, that brings us to our next section of the video, which is where I'm going to bring up 2 trade ideas that could potentially do well in the coming weeks to a month. These are just swing ideas. So the first ticker symbol is MIST. MIST. And wow, this stock is very oversold and could be a big bottom bouncer. Similar to ICD, if you remember that about a week ago, I could see MIST doing a move like that. Because wow, when I show you this chart, it is pretty oversold right now. The RSI doesn't say it's oversold, but like when you see this, let me just show you this. So what you are currently looking at is a 20-day, 1-hour chart. So each candle represents 1 hour in the span of 20 days. And as you could see, MIST is clearly over. It's not the RSI, as I said, it's not technically oversold. But wow, it does have that potential to be one of those bottom bouncers that we've seen lately. That could, it's 244 right now. I could see it going to like $5. It does have like that gap to fill to $14, and you never know. You guys know what kind of market we're in right now. It's very crazy. The reason it went down originally is because of this PR investigation into Milestone Pharmaceuticals. See, that isn't. It's terrible news, let's be honest, and there's a reason it went down so much. But as I said, this is just something you want to keep an eye on as a potential bottom bouncer because it could offer a big trade opportunity. And the final stock that we're going to be talking about here in today's video is KTOV Pharmaceuticals, ticker symbol KTOV. And pretty much what they do is they're a clinical stage company that develops treatments and therapies for fighting against cancerous tumors. And what makes them such an enticing and interesting trade idea, in my opinion, is the fact that they released a PR last month, and they said the company's manufacturing partner is completing the packaging, release, and shipment of Constance to KTOV's marketing partners that is expected to begin selling Constance in the United States in May 2020. To give you a little synopsis of that, pretty much that means that their products, so their therapies and treatments, that means they're going to be selling them here in the United States beginning next month, which means we should be expecting an update from the company relatively soon. And this isn't even mentioning the fact of how good the chart looks. As you could see, just taking a look here at the past 20 days, very steady uptrend. You gotta just love this bullish movement. As you can see, it was at a low of 22.5 cents and is now almost at 40 cents. This just adds to the fact that if we get an update from management, this stock could very well shoot over $1 again. I would not be surprised at all, honestly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, any feedback is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, let's go make some money.